Hi everyone, Philip Galinsky from Samba New York here, and today I'll be launching a new series of videos on the channel dedicated to the Caixa em Cima, the Caixa played on top like this. If you're not familiar with what the Caixa em Cima is, I would definitely encourage you to check out a video that I just posted to the channel in which I demonstrate two of the main ways of holding or positioning the Caixa, or Brazilian snare drum, in the Samba school bateria. That includes Caixa embaixo, or Caixa below, played on a strap, and Caixa em Cima, played on top like this, with or without a strap. I'll be demonstrating without a strap, okay? Now, for this video, and for the subsequent videos on Caixa em Cima, I'll be using this beautiful 12-inch multi-pad, practice pad by Contemporânea. And at the end of the video, at the end of each video, I'll be taking out the actual Caixa to show you how the given rhythm that I'm teaching in that video sounds on the actual Caixa. All right, so if you're new to the Caixa, then I definitely recommend that you check out the two videos that I posted previously to the channel entitled A Basic Pattern for Samba on the Caixa, Part 1, and A Basic Pattern for Samba on the Caixa, Part 2. In these two videos, I teach what I consider to be the most basic pattern for samba on the Caixa, known in Rio as the batida reta, straight ahead beat, or levada reta, straight ahead pattern. And this is none other than the basic subdivisions of the samba. 3 and a, 4 and a. Okay, this pattern tends to be played when it is used in the samba schools, tends to be played with the Caixa embaixo, the Caixa below on a strap. Can be played in Cima as well, but the patterns that tend to be played in Cima in Rio Samba schools tend to be derived from a style of samba called Partido Alto. Partido Alto is a style of samba that features call and response vocals, as well as a series of rhythmic patterns that are traditionally played on this drum, the pandeiro. Okay, Partido Alto is a style of samba that typically occurs outside the context of carnival in a small group samba setting, such as a circle of samba musicians, known as a roda de samba or a samba band. And the pandeiro players when they play Partido Alto tend to play one or more different patterns that are associated with Partido Alto. They're known as Partido Alto patterns, okay? And there are many different Partido Alto patterns that can be played on the pandeiro. And the pattern that is the source for the most popular pattern, I would say, played on the Caixa em Cima, goes like this. 3, 4. Okay, this particular Partido Alto pattern is not so commonly played these days on the pandeiro in Partido Alto, but it has become a very popular pattern played on the Caixa em Cima in the bateria. Okay, and as I said, it's a very popular. I would say it's, in my understanding, it's the most common pattern played on the Caixa em Cima in Rio Samba schools, and also played in many other Samba schools around Brazil and around the world. So it's definitely a great pattern to learn on the Caixa after you've learned the batida reta, or straight ahead Samba beat. Okay, so let's translate this pattern from the pandeiro to the Caixa, okay? So the thumb strokes are going to correspond to the notes on the head, right below the strings. And the slaps are going to correspond to a note that's below that, either on the head or a rim shot, in which we hit the head and the rim of the drum at the same time. On the practice pad, I'm not going to play it with rim shots. I'm just going to play it with a note, notes on the head that are a little bit lower. And this is it's a stylistic choice, okay? But on the Caixa, I'll demonstrate it with the rim shots. All right, so the right hand, or the dominant hand, will play everything that the pandeiro played, okay? And the way that I'm going to play it all of the notes are gonna be accented. Okay, so we're gonna go 1 E, a 2, and 3, and 4, and 1 E, a 2, and 3, and 4, and okay. Now there's a lot of variety in how players can interpret or play these Partido Alto patterns on the Caixa. Some players, for example, accent only the first note of the double and don't accent the second one, so that would be. There are a variety of ways of playing these patterns, but the way that I learned it and the way that I teach it is by playing all of the notes accented and the same volume. So 1 E, a 2, and 3, and 4, and 1 E, a 2, and 3, and 4, and okay. So it's important in this pattern to get that contour, that difference in timbre. Okay. So you're going to have 1 E, a. The of 1 is going to be below, and then the and of 2, the and of 3, and the and of 4 are going to be below, and 2, 3, and 4 are going to be above. So we have 2 above, 1 below, 1 above, 1 below, 1 above, 1 below, 1 above, 1 below, like that. Okay. So what does the left hand do? The left hand is just going to fill in all the notes. Okay. Now there are different ways of playing the Caixa Cima. Some players will play the left hand or the non-dominant hand with taps, so that you play the head of the drum and the stick just comes off the head like that. Other players will actually press the stick into the head, but what I would advise you to do is not to buzz that stroke. Don't play it as a buzz stroke, but just to press it into the head and make it one discrete sound. Okay, so it's your personal choice, however you feel more comfortable. All right, so the left hand is going to fill in all the notes with unaccented strokes. Okay, unaccented notes. They're not ghost notes, however. They're going to be sort of normal volume notes, not super quiet, but not accented. All right, so let's just break this pattern down into half. Okay, so we're going to play the first half, beats 1 and 2. Let's just play beat 1 first. So beat 1 is just going to be 1 E and a 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2, 3, 4. Okay, beats 1 and 2 together. 1 E and a 2, E and a 3, 4. 1 E and a 2, E and a 3, 4. Okay, let's do beats 3 and 4. 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, rest. 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, rest. Okay, let's put it all together. So one measure of this pattern, which we're going to call arbitrarily Partido Alto 1, and then one measure of rest. Here we go. 3 E and a 4 E and a. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we're going to play continuously at this tempo. 3 E, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. I ended with what's called the virada. For the virada, it's the turnaround phrase, which we can use to start the samba rhythm, to stop the samba rhythm, or as a transition between sections of the song. For example, the samba enredo. The way that I'm playing the virada is beats 1 and 2 are the same, or beat 1 is the same as the basic this Partido Alto 1 pattern. Okay, 1 E and a 2, and then we just add and 3, and we're done. Okay, 1 E and a 2 and 3. Okay, let's play Partido Alto 1 at a faster tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. And even faster still. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's demonstrate this pattern on the actual Caixa. So I'm going to put away the drum pad and take out this beautiful Caixa by Contemporânea. And let's do Partido Alto 1 at a slow tempo. Now, I'm going to play the notes below as rim shots, where I'm going to hit the head and the rim at the same time. And it's very important to keep in mind that stylistically, when playing these rim shots, if you choose to play them as rim shots, you can also play them as just notes a little bit lower on the head. But if you play them as rim shots, the notes below, make sure that you're not playing them louder than the notes above, okay? If anything, the notes above should be louder, okay? But especially the rim shots on the and of 2, and of 3, and the and of 4, because you don't want to play you want it to sound like. So aim to make them about the same volume, okay? Here we go. Partido Alto 1 at a slower tempo. 1, 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a. Okay?